what do you love doing? What part of your business do you want to immerse yourself in? I mean, I know it happens in any industry and in any business. Someone might really love doing one thing, but they see another successful person doing another, and they think, well, I've got to do that to be successful. When in reality, like you would be amazing and a trailblazer if you just operated in your zone of genius.
Hello and welcome to the Elevate podcast. I'm your host, Patricia Nowakowski. I'm a salon owner, educator, mindset, and leadership coach that helps salon owners go from overwhelmed and burnt out to motivated and empowered. It is my mission to help you systemize your business, generate more profit, and create a career that you love. Join us every week to learn about the small shifts you can make to elevate your business regarding mindset, marketing, social media, business systems, and so much more. Welcome to the Elevate podcast. As we enter a new year and we quickly approach 1 year of the Elevate podcast, I have a very humble request of you. If you love the show, please subscribe. You'll get notified of a new podcast release every Thursday. Plus, this will help boost the show so I can reach more salon owners, stylists, and entrepreneurs this year. A positive review always goes a very long way, especially on Apple Podcast. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. This week on the Elevate podcast, I'm excited to sit down with Morgan Bullock. Morgan is a certified mindset coach, international speaker, two-time author, and self-love advocate who helps powerhouse female athletes and successful women win within. Now it's her mission to empower masses of women to love themselves, build resilience, and win a life of fulfillment and freedom. Today's topic, we will be talking about the importance of being incredibly clear with your ultimate vision, how to visualize, manifest, and build resilience. Did you ever wish there was a space to connect with other like-minded entrepreneurs outside of the industry? Last year, I joined Brand Builders Group, and it has truly transformed my business. Brand Builders Group is a personal brand strategy firm for influencers, thought leaders, and entrepreneurs. Their services are designed to help mission-driven messengers clarify positioning, expand reach, and increase revenues. I've gained so much clarity thanks to working with my brand strategist and attending Brand Builders Group events. If you are ready to create an impactful personal brand, check out Brand Builders Group. For more information, check out the link in the show notes. Thank you so much for being on the Elevate podcast. I would like you to take a moment to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Sure. So I'm Morgan Bullock. I am a mindset coach, international speaker, two-time author, self-love advocate. I own an Airbnb, so I do real estate investment and really into helping, young women, young athletes, and successful women love themselves, find freedom and authenticity and fulfillment through doing the things that they're passionate about, figuring out what that is, who they are, and where they deeply desire to go, regardless of what the world may tell them. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. And I'm a mom, and I need to add that. I'm getting used to saying that. But I'm a mom, a partner, and just someone who grabs life by the horns and rides it as fervently as I can.
I love that. So you are also a coach and a motivational speaker. What actually pushed you to begin this path to help others?
When I was 19 years old, my 14-year-old brother passed away after attempting to save. He and his friends were playing on a frozen lake. He tried to save his friend who fell in, and both of them ended up drowning. And after that, I received an outpouring of love and a lot of people in the community who reached out to give me encouragement. And I found myself naturally encouraging them, right? And shining a light on them. And they would leave the conversation saying, wait a minute, Morgan, I intended to come and make you and pour into you. And yet I have left feeling a lot more sound about myself and my life and encouraged. That along with playing softball and eventually playing D1 softball at Florida State, I was naturally the leader, naturally the person that was going to empower and inspire the team to help them win.
So one of the things that you really focus on and you really coach your clients to do is really visualize and manifest. Mm-hmm. And how have you created the life that you love by utilizing these tools? And why is this important for people within their business?
Sure. So, going back to playing softball throughout my life, I know that anytime and with any athlete, anytime that we won a major thing, if we won the ultimate championship, it took visualization at the beginning of the season. We all would collectively get together and say, this is the goal. This is what we want. This is what it's going to look like for us. So I learned that at a very young age. And after I graduated and I had gotten married very young, and my then husband and I had a stillbirth and subsequently a divorce. I lost my house and my whole entire life that I had known it, I had lost it. And I found myself in a place kind of like at the beginning of the season and saying, what do I want for my life? And maybe I can use the same things that I learned on the field playing softball in my life. And I found myself visualizing and believing and deeply desiring the things and manifesting the things that in my life that I have now. So that's where it stemmed from, learning it from a young age, utilizing it in a different area of my life and seeing it work, and then developing a framework to help others do the same. Oh, and to answer the next question of how do I feel like that can work in someone's business? Again, it can work in every aspect. A lot of times, a lot of my clients who start businesses, a lot of times think about the start, but they're not thinking like, what do I ultimately want? What do I want this to look like when I get to a place of peace and ease, right? How do I want this to unfold and blossom in my life? And I help them align to what they ultimately want and the freedom that they actually want through their business.
So you and I connected at Brand Builders, which is like, I guess, a coaching / branding group that we're in. I highly recommend, if you are looking to start your own personal brand, to definitely check out Brand Builders. But one of the things that I really loved about our conversation, and one of the things that you really spoke to, is that you talked about all of these women that you help who create these lives. And you yourself have done this. You create this life that you think you're supposed to have, when in reality, you're not really taking what you want into consideration. You're just kind of going along with what the quote unquote American dream is.
Yeah.
So how do you, one, why were you drawn to this type of person? Because I know, again, you were this person, but how do you coach people to really find what they love and to get out of this quote unquote normal thing that we're supposed to be doing?
For one, I help people to identify, or we go through this process where I like to have people to list out what they think that they should have and put the whys behind them, right? And then we do some inner work to really think about, like, who was that person before society and parents and peers started pouring into us and shifting and changing what we think of ourselves and what we actually want, right? I think that we naturally gravitate towards things that we love, and then we want to be like others and we want to assimilate, and we see someone else's story and think that, oh, if they're happy with that, I'll probably be happy that way too. When in reality, we're losing who we are at our core. So that's really how I help people to ultimately identify and define who they are. Once you know who you are, then you can determine what you want.
And I thought this was so powerful. And one of the things that I thought and this is the reason why I wanted to have you on, is I feel like so many people in our industry do that same exact thing. They think they're supposed to go to rental. They think they're supposed to open a salon. And in reality, not everyone is supposed to have a salon, but it's the path that people get pushed to because it's what you're supposed to do, instead of really thinking about how you truly want to make your own impact in the industry. You're just kind of going with the flow. So what are some of like the practices that you suggest besides writing down, what you want and why? What are some other things that you can help my audience with to help really find something that aligns with what they truly want for themselves and what they love doing? I am so excited to announce that we just opened our brand new program, the Elevated Salon Owner Collective, to beta testers. If you want to build a salon that makes you feel fulfilled, passionate, while bringing you freedom and flexibility to your life, the collective is for you. This is the best time to join because we have some special bonuses, and when you join as a beta tester, you get to join the collective for $300 off. We're only allowing 20 motivated salon owners to join. So visit opulentbeautypro.com/join the collective to join the waitlist to have your best year yet.
Outside of writing things down, exploring what you naturally gravitate towards and doing that, right? To your point, and I'm not super familiar with the salon and hair industry. However, what do you love doing? What part of your business do you want to immerse yourself in? I mean, I know it happens in any industry and in any business. Someone might really love doing one thing, but they see another successful person doing another, and they think, well, I've got to do that to be successful. When in reality, like, you would be amazing and a trailblazer if you just operated in your zone of genius and doing what you loved. And then your business and that's what I mean by freedom, right? Your business would then blossom because you're doing the thing that comes naturally to you. You're doing the thing that puts a smile on your face, that doesn't feel like work, where you actually feel free and fulfilled. And then everything else will follow. But trying so hard to do what you see other people doing is exhausting, and not you operating in your zone of genius, not you being your best self, not what the world actually needs from you.
I love that. That's so powerful, because really when you're out of alignment, magical things don't really happen. Mm-hmm. So when you're following your path and you really are following your heart, everything falls into place and things just automatically create success for you.
Right.
So if you have someone who is new to visualization and manifestation, where do you recommend they begin? Because this is a powerful tool you use with your clients.
Mm-hmm. I am just a pen to paper girl, right? I recommend you asking the questions of like, what do I want? And checking yourself when you start to list the things that you don't want, because 9 times out of 10, we're always talking about the things that we don't want. And when we talk about those things, that's what we're going to get. So a lot of people feel like, visualization doesn't work, manifestation doesn't work. And it's like, nah, it does. You're just manifesting all of the things that you're thinking about, which is what you don't want, because we live in this very negative society where we just, I think that's a whole nother podcast, but the whole nother episode. But yes, writing down what you want, seeing it, tasting it, hearing it, smelling it. I think in my times of, I'll give an example. After I'd had my stillbirth, I had a stillbirth at 20 weeks. And I mean, obviously that was very devastating. And naturally I was like, what does this mean for my future? And I found myself wanting to spiral, naturally wanting to go into this negative spiral of, I'm never going to be able to have kids. I'm going to experience this over and over again. Maybe I'm not supposed to. And when I started thinking like, no, this is what my life is going to look like. This is the type of child that I want. This is the type of pregnancy and labor that I want. This is what it's going to feel like. I'm going to have a natural birth. It's going to be quick. It's going to be whatever I say it is, whatever I believe it is. And all I would focus on is that. When I got pregnant, naturally, I wanted to go down that negative spiral. And I said, I'm not doing it. I'm not reading any articles that talk about SIDS. I'm not reading anything that talks about somebody's terrible labor. If someone is telling me about their, very difficult pregnancy, I would say that's not my story. I was delusionally believing in what I wanted. So I would start with being very clear and detailed about every aspect of what you want, and do not shy away. Do not be humble about it. You can have believing that you can have everything that you want when you write it all down.
I truly believe that everyone can create their own reality. And it really does take intention and work and shifting your mindset, because the mind is such a powerful thing. So it's so powerful. And what you surround yourself with, who you surround yourself with, the things that you're consuming visually, even just like on TV, social media, those all impact your reality. So really being intentional with what you put in front of yourself, what you let in, what you actually consume visually and, mentally and spiritually, all are going to make an impact on your reality. So I love that. So when you actually put these things into practice and start being intentional with your thoughts and your visions and your beliefs, how do you see this trickle down into your clients' lives, and how do you see things transform for them?
I mean, I see them beginning to get the things that they desire, but more importantly, I see them starting to trust themselves. I see them starting to have a lot more confidence. I see them eager to live as their authentic self, since they have a deeper understanding of who that is. I see them seeking freedom, and going in the direction that they naturally gravitate towards. And so their lives become easy and they flow, and what they want comes to them so much more easily, because their subconscious mind is naturally thinking about what they want instead of what they don't want. Life is just brighter. In the midst of getting the things that they desire, life is brighter because they're living in their truth and their authenticity and in alignment.
So moving towards a little bit more of somebody who, let's just say, has more of a negative mindset, where they feel like they're the victim of their life. They feel like their circumstances are happening to them and they aren't able to create the circumstances and the life that they want. What is one thing that you can recommend to kind of shift that negativity into starting to create a positive mindset so they can start manifesting the things that they want?
A consistent thing that I've noticed with a negative mindset is the quickness to blame everything else, and the lack of extreme ownership or radical responsibility, which is very difficult, right? Which is something that none of us are like super eager to do until we put it into practice. So as difficult as it is, the main thing I tell people who, start off with a very negative mindset is, okay, we've got to own the fact that where we are is our own doing, right? Regardless of how terrible it is, it's our own doing. Or recognizing that in this negative space, it's only preparing us for the really positive things that are coming to be if we change our mind right now, right? I'm grateful for all of the negative things and hardships that have happened to me because of the woman that I am today. But if I had stayed in that place of, I'm a victim, the universe hates me, God hates me, like, why is everything continuing to happen to me? Oh, it only happens to me. I would still be there, instead of being able to utilize it and helping it to utilizing it to fuel my light to shine even brighter.
I love that. That's one thing that I really focus on with a lot of my coaching students is personal responsibility, because if you have the power to create it, then you have the power to change it. But I love radical responsibility. I'm totally stealing that. I think that's a great,
You know what? Honestly,
I love it.
I'm one to give credit to where credit is due. Somebody said that at Brand Builders.
Oh, they did.
I don't remember who said it, but I was like, radical responsibility. Ooh, that's way cuter than
personal responsibility. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Radical responsibility. Totally taking that. Whoever said that at Brand Builders, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And also, there's another kind of thing that I go over with my students as well, which is what a pleasure. Every time something bad happens, just saying to the universe, this is such a gift, because I can now take this, technical, like horrible thing that has happened to me, and I can really use it to transform my consciousness around it, and to transform the negativity around it, and really take a lesson from it. So those are two powerful tools that really can change your life. And I think that with personal responsibility, or radical responsibility, which I'm going to be calling it from now on, that really does give you back your power. And when you have power, then you can really create anything that you want.
It does. Blaming others just is giving your power away.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, you want my power? Hey, you want my life? You're giving your life to all the people and all the things that you're blaming your situation on too. Yeah.
So for 2023, I'm saying screw goals. I'm not like focusing on what goals I want to achieve. I'm focusing on feeling certain feelings I want to feel. So I want to feel empowered, and I want to feel impactful. So I think when we talk about taking personal responsibility, it allows you to take that power back and to create those things that you want. So I'm excited for that. Okay, cool. So tell people where they can find you and how they can work with you.
Sure. You can find me at my website at morganbullock.com. There, you can book a discovery call. We can chat about my coaching program, and you can find me on all social media platforms at Morgan Bullock _. That's Morgan, like Morgan Freeman, Bullock, like Sandra Bullock. I'm related to neither of them, but you remember. But yeah, so I'm really excited to be taking on a few new clients come 2023. Spaces are limited, as I'm doing some other group coaching cohorts with young athletes that I'm really excited about. But I love working with women and changing their perspective from the status quo and what society has been placing on us from such tender ages. So yeah, find me at morganbullock.com.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I'm so glad I met you at Brand Builders. We had such a great 2 days. Well, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
All right, bye.